What's up, everybody? Thanks for stopping by my channel, Esteemed Queen Immortality. Be sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell down below, so that way you get to know when I post all of my TeaTalks. I know it looks a little chaotic in the background, but y'all used to seeing me the opposite way where my camera is, and I'm using my laptop this time. So I know I've been MIA for the last month. You ever got to a point you just been burnt the fuck out? I don't mean no harm. I hope no kids was in the room. I hope the kids is doing well, but you know what I mean. You know, this YouTube thing, you know, if you don't have a constant theme, a constant topic to talk about, or something along those consistencies, it can be kind of troubling to like think of things to talk about, or better yet, maybe it's just time to like redirect. So here we are, 1 month later, 1 month and 7 books. Okay, so I hope everyone's doing well. Your girl, Miss Terrell, is in her last month of getting ready for her addiction recovery counselor's ethics exam. So as you can see right here, this is all 3630 arts at 3634. So yeah, you get to see a little bit of the chaos that makes a beautiful machine. Okay, so I don't know about y'all. Get y'all water, get y'all wine, get whatever it is that y'all sipping on, get it and bring it close. If you are part of the warrior community over on Patreon, the book club is back. We are finishing up the first book. The first book that we're reading, I read it so fast. That's how good it was. So when we start in the, well, it is the fall. When we start the next book, that's when book club will be back open, and so I can catch you up on the first one that I read, so that way in the second book, which one would that be, the sophomore book, you'll know what's going on. But girl, child, honey, get it, it is just like, go ahead and go over there. All the church comments are down below. Who drinks coffee 7 in the evening? Anyway, get your water, get your wine, get your coffee, get whatever it is that you sipping on, get it and bring it close. Now, like I said, I hope y'all doing well. I really, really do. I'm getting ready for the holidays, as you can see. I am a vendor now on Walmart's website, so I've been kind of busy, clearly. But I do want to get back to you all, because I have not forgotten about you all. I am building a second channel, so at some point, time or another, that will be where we'll be migrating to. If not, I will try my best to keep videos on this one. But either way you look at it, don't hold, don't feel, I'm here. Go ahead, get your beverage and your snacks and come on. Now, get close. So, in my little hiatus, I've had some time in nature. I've had some time to myself with my cat, wherever he is. And so we've talked about setting boundaries. We talked about noticing, things as far as red flags. We have decoded when people are being deceptive. We have talked about when people have been trying to use you. We have talked about not dimming your light, rearranging your buttons, your fuse box. So now we need to get onto the topic of now you, just focusing on you. Just picture it like this. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Picture the feeling of you just ending maybe a relationship, or maybe you're moving, or you're just starting something new, like something's closed, a chapter is closed, and now you're moving forward, right? Embrace that feeling of leaving behind things that you've learned in the past. Not necessarily saying forget them all together, but I am saying you're going to take those things and you're going to keep them in your memory bank, but you're going to move forth and you're going to experience new and different things. With that being said, you're going to meet new and different people. Now open your eyes. You are now in this place where you have this new beginning, this new start. And so you're going to meet new people. You're going to experience new things. You're going to feel the anticipation just as much as the agony should set things not go your way, or you not see the red flags, rearrange your presets and your buttons in your fuel box. Okay. So now we need to talk about standing firm, standing on business is what the students say. We need to stand on business and not cap. Okay. That's what they tell me. You know, there was this saying back then. I had to write it down. He could understand everyone very well, but no one could understand him. That is so close to the truth when it comes to us rebirthing, you know, coming to a place where we notice, like, you know, there has to be a change. There has to be something that is going to allow me the freedom to live the life how I want to. You have enablers and you have disablers. All right. So depending on which one you're around, that's going to factor into how far you go from where you were last time. And as crazy as it may seem, you know, exciting and scary at the same time, I don't hear fear in there. I hear curiosity. I hear excitement. I hear thrill. I hear anticipation. I hear someone that is really just ready to move forward, right? But the thing is, when you move forward, who are you? When we learn something, you know, we learn from our mistakes. You know, my kindergartners, they fall and they do whatever. They may have a scab or something like that. The past 2 weeks, these children have been having havoc when it comes to playing in the grass and coming across fire ants, right? So now the kids, they understand when we go outside to play in the mulch area, not in the grass, because fire ants have had an episode with them already, right? So when we have things in our life that given us kind of a permanent reminder in our head not to do certain things, all right, there comes that's black and white. Okay, you do it, it hurts, black and white. But then there's that thing we like to call the gray area, right? And that gray area is where we learn those lessons. How did you get that scab? You were somewhere where you weren't supposed to be. What do you do moving forward? You don't be where you ain't supposed to be. This is how we learn. Now, the gray area is if you are willing to deal with it or not, do it or not, change or not, keep up with it or not. That part really depends up to you, but that is the gray area. That is the smoke screen. And so when we move forth and we're trying to learn and get to know different people, understand that it's okay for you not to tell the same story, right, from the past. If you're trying to move past the past, why keep bringing the past up? Hey, how you doing? Where you from? Oh, well, I'm from Italy, but then I had a bad breakup behind a boyfriend after I moved to the States. You don't have to do that. You don't owe any future person any type of story or smokescreen about who you are. Just show them. Like, it's okay to be yourself. So let me go ahead and talk to you a little bit about these smoke screens. Okay, it keeps us from us being our real selves. When we come across people who aren't very nurturing, they're not very caring, they're not very understanding of spreading love, is just as contagious as someone coughing on someone and spreading a germ. Okay, when we come across people who feel like, you know what, since they have been breadcrumbed, and I did a video on that, since they have been breadcrumbed, it is okay to do the same thing and repeat behavior. The thing about repeating the behavior but not wanting to continue the cycle is that there has to be accountability and responsibility somewhere in there. If you don't want things to stay the same and you want them to change, bitch, who has to do something? It's not the universe. It's not the higher spirit. It's you. If you change your, if you change the direction you stand in, where the wind is blowing towards you, you will notice there's a change in how it makes you feel. Whether you not get goosebumps, whether it feel like it's whipping you with switches, who knows? But the bottom line is, in order to do different, you have to, in order to experience different, you got to do different. And sometimes you doing different and something being unknown to you as a path, that's called discovery. And when we start to understand discovery, it really takes an effort. Just like it takes an effort to put together a meal, an idea, a plan. It takes effort and it requires persistency. What helps you in that type of discovery phase is that you be completely honest with who you are. If you're a person who's overly emotional, let's address those emotions. So then that way you'll be able to have more control. If so happens you're more of a person that feels like you hear things of the past telling you that the future is pretty much not going to be for you, then we need to address those feelings. And so that way you can have a control on how you feel. But when it comes to people not caring for who you are, how you are, you don't really need those type of people in your circle. Trust you and me. If so happens someone can't take you being authentically you, they can make fake ass friends somewhere else. You are not that hard up for someone to be in your corner, especially when you know you could put 10 on 20 and 20 on 20 and bet on yourself. It's no point. But you do have people out here that will want you to conform to how they want to be pleased. The part they're missing is that they're not the only person in the world. There's other people besides them. And when we get used to certain things and we get acclimated to, well, you know what, everyone else just gives in to me. Well, guess what? I'm not everybody else. So you can't base what I'm going to do off of the past. The past is what it is. And if they can't see you in the present for who you are, then they're a person that may have to deal with some of what's going on with themselves. Again, that is not for you to slide across the table and consider yours. Secondly, understand people will pretend to be what they're not just to please others and to be considered good enough. Now, this is something that I have discovered through school, through clinicals, through personal life, definitely primary and first, that when we feel like we don't deserve love, we do more than our share. And then we fall into the category of, why isn't it not being reciprocated? Well, it's not being reciprocated because you're doing it around people. You're doing it around people who are negative and do not appreciate it. Wisest words I've heard in the last 72 hours. When you feel like you are overshadowed, or you're taken for granted, or you're not seen to be valuable, it's not you. It's just who you are, and what you're showing yourself to be is around people who may not have experienced that high vibration from anybody. So therefore, they can't appreciate what they don't know and what is seeming to be, a behavior. Like, it's a learned behavior where it's just like, that's just what it is. That's what makes them tick, tock, dickory dock, all that type stuff. And so I just want my warriors to understand that the price is higher when you're not yourself, right? So the difference between an enabler and a disabler is, one is going to tell you to keep doing the same things so they can get the most out of it, versus a disabler would tell you, that's a no-go. You're trying to heal, you're trying to do right, you're trying to get your skin together, what the hell ever. The bottom line is, you don't go back to what put you in a place where you're having to redo yourself all over, reparent yourself all over. When we go back because we feel like that's all we know, then we need to look at the strength that we have within to want to know better, to want to know different. This is where you getting out and from up underneath that woman or that dude, and you go find out what it is that will interest you, that will intrigue your attention, your focus. I want to get into pottery. I done got little bits of clay and all types of stuff. That's what I want to get into. You know, I don't have to be attached to someone 24/7. It's great to know that they're there. However, knowing what I know now wholly, meaning in myself, and not having to gather bits and pieces or broken parts from others to say that I'm complete, I can definitely see exactly why it's always felt how it seems, you know, like I've always just seemed to be better by myself. I've always just seemed to be able to go farther and do more with it just being like a lone wolf energy. You feel me? But when I get around people who don't respect that and don't acknowledge we're not in the 50s and I have the right to put my 10 toes down and put my knee on and say I said what I said, it's an issue. Well, you know, we can't outgrow ones who aren't trying to grow. One wants to enable you and one wants to disable you. Look around and figure out what are they? Who are they? Point them out. Write them down. Put a highlighter on their name. Do whatever you need to do so that way you know for sure who you can connect the dots with. When I say connect the dots, if something goes on, if something's wrong, they're going to call you. It's an inkling, it's a feeling, it's a notion, it's this, it's that. It don't matter. The bottom line is this person's going to check on you. It's not well, I'll check on you if you check on me. We don't have time for that. All right. And last but not least, breaking generational curses often opens emotional wounds, but this is one of the reasons why I created my channel as well as my second channel, and it's because I want you to know that there's a safe place out here in the digital world where I don't care how many times you have to watch the videos, the healing is there. We have to be willing to do the work, even if the work is not to go backwards. We have to get to a point where we realize that we have more control than we realize. And when we realize it, we give too much of it away. We give too much power, too much of a share. And so it puts you in a position where you don't know yourself. And it does feel lost. And it does feel lonely. And it does feel dark. And I just want you to open your eyes. Like how I said in my book, like, I just want you to open your eyes. Like, you're not by yourself. All right. The one who learned their lesson will only experience a mistake one time. I had to give that a moment of silence because it's the closest thing to the truth. It's the closest thing to the sun, to know how you have been motivated to change, whether that's you feeling brokenhearted, whether that's you relapsing, whether that's someone triggering you, whether that's you just wanting to finally find closure in things, ideas, people, places, and things that at one point in time you didn't think you were strong enough to be able to handle. And then when you find that out, I just want you to know again, there's no punishment for you being your authentic self. And if people don't understand you, then that's fine. You do. And that's what I want you to realize that matters. The outside is exactly what it is. Don't internalize the outside. A wise friend once told me, don't let shit get to you. Because literally, it will. But you have the controller, the knob, the adjuster on what you decide will be the concentration breaker, the focus breaker. So, that's what I have for you all for tonight. Close your Bibles. Be sure that you put down below, how are you enabling your manifestations, and how are you disabling negativity? I want to hear it down below. So be sure that you like, share, subscribe. Definitely share and subscribe. 30% of y'all are not subscribed. So I would love for you all to subscribe. It's free. It's a good way to support the channel, expand brand awareness of the channel, and most importantly, just spread positivity. Outside of that, Nilo is waiting at his bowl for his mama to feed him. So just be sure that you like, share, subscribe down below. Tell me what you think about this video, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.